may be seated. Okay, let's talk about the power of the tongue. Now that you have an idea of what your life should be after you are born again, you are now very much aware of the benefits, what you have to get, the reason why you are born again. Because if you don't know the reasons why you are born again, you shouldn't have been born again. You have to know the reasons why you are born again. What have you avoided by being born again? Running away from the devil. What exactly are you running away from? Running away from the devil, are you running away from life or you're running away from death? Are you running away from health or you're running away from diseases? So you have to understand that the moment you are born again, you have escaped. You have been delivered from the will of the enemy over your life, and you have surrendered to the lordship and the rulership of Jesus Christ. But then, what happens after you have imagined a thing? And the thing that you have imagined is a very good thing. You now have good desires that you have lined up for you, and I would want God to do this for me. This is what I would want God to do for me. And you have a list of those things that you have. So you are trying to help your mind to believe that God can do those things. Because some of them, you might think they are too big for God to be able to perform. So you're trying to deal with your mind and bring your mind into control. And sort of like even try to convince yourself that God can do this for me. And that takes time as well. But finally, when you've made up your mind that this is what I'm determined to have, this is the life that I've chosen, you now have it in your mind. You can think about it. You go to sleep, you see that. You close your eyes, you see that. It has now become an established imagination. It is there, it cannot be erased. Then step number 2, you have to develop a language that does not contradict that picture. Develop a language that does not contradict that imagination. Which means what you say has to be in line with what you are thinking. There shouldn't be any contradiction as to what you are thinking and what you are saying. So, you have it in your mind, but what you have in your mind, you still have to have it in your mouth. Develop statements, develop words that will begin to support the idea that you have received from God. I've also noticed that even in the marketplace, if you are going to come up with a product, any product that you're going to come up with, it is not only supposed to be the product that you bring to the people. You have to also develop a language that supports the product. It's a product that you have imagined, and because sometimes even after you have already brought it into existence, just like if you look at the iPhone guys, there was a time when they would spend the whole year just talking about the latest model that is coming. Before you could finally get it, they would talk about it. They would talk about it. It doesn't matter they have it physically in the storeroom, but the fact that you don't have it physically over there, it is still an imagination to you. They are causing you to imagine how it is going to be like. So before they can finally give you the final product, there has to be a language that goes ahead and prepares the way for the latest iPhone. So the language has to do the fore-running before the product can be given. No matter how good it is, that's why, especially in the UK, those people, if we talk of iPhones, they would queue even on the day when they say it's going to be sold from today. People will just go there and they'll be sleeping in the queue just for them to get an iPhone. They have never seen it, but they heard about it. And the way it was marketed, it made them to anxiously wait for it. They couldn't wait. Why? Because it's a product which is coming from an imagination, but before it can be given to people, people have to receive a word. There is supposed to be some statements that should go ahead of that product. So if we are not going to understand that, imagine. Sometimes myself, I look at nice cars. I do that most times. And right now, if you go on the internet, you can look at pictures of the cars that are going to be coming even next year. But you can't buy it from anywhere. It's not found. They're just working on the idea and they'll be talking. It's more of talking than having the real thing. Which means this issue of talking really, it works. It works. So you can have sites and sites and sites and pages, and they are just people that are just talking about the product, and there is nothing. You can't get it anyway. They're just talking about it. Which means people have to talk about it first before they can have it. If you don't talk about it, you can't have it. So they allow you to develop a language. They create not just the product, but they also create the language that goes ahead of the product. What you have now is an imagination. It's not yet on sale. Nobody knows about it. Only yourself. how to then bring it out of you. Language is the only transport that can bring it out of your mind. The way you speak from now has to change. The way you speak, it has to change. So having it in your mind doesn't change anything. Develop a language that supports what you are thinking. Now, James here is introducing us to a very crucial subject, and is trying to make us understand the power of your tongue, how it can affect your life in a good way or in a bad way if it is not properly utilized. Your tongue. And then before he gets into the heart of the matter, he's first of all in the first verse dealing with so many teachers that are going to be there, coming up from nowhere with the desire to teach. My brethren, be not many masters. That word masters there is teacher. Knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. So James is not discouraging people from becoming teachers of the word. No. But he's trying to make you understand the consequences that you have to face when you become a teacher. Because by becoming a teacher, you are then exposed to a platform where you have to be using your tongue in most of the times. So by becoming a teacher, you have chosen one of the most dangerous occupations in life, because you are going to be making use of that sensitive part of your body, which is your tongue. And after that, you are going to attract greater condemnation. So he's not stopping you from becoming a teacher, but he just wants you to realize how dangerous it is for you to become talkative and you're not aware of the consequences. So you can do any other job, but if you're going to be teaching, be aware of the repercussions, the dangers that you have to go through because of the nature of the ministry. It demands that you talk and you speak. That's the way he introduces this matter now.